Welcome back, Tube Dwellers, to a best of 3 series between LiquidTLO and Harstem. Spawning in the top left of Acheron Wastes, we have our Team Liquid player, TLO. Juxtaposed, spawning in the bottom right, we have our Fnatic player, Harstem. This is Game 2 of the best of 3. If you haven't watched Game 1, I highly advise you go watch it first, because I'm about to spoil some of the results of Game 1. Harstem did an Immortal Sentry all-in. TLO crushed it with pure Zerglings. +1 melee upgrade, and amazing timing on his development of the army and his aggression on Harstem. Now we see Acheron Wastes, a larger map. So far, similar opening. Harstem did go for this pylon on the low ground, out by his natural. And he went for a Nexus first, into a Forge and Gateway before Cannon, which is about as economy-focused as a Protoss opener can get. It doesn't look like TLO has any plans to attempt to punish that. And it looks like Harstem probably would have seen it in time, even if TLO did have such plans. So we're going to move into very similar openings here. The Forge has gone down first this time. Looks like Harstem may want to whip out some cannon tricks. We have a second probe on the map. And the pylon is down. Oh my. TLO gets the hatchery down, but this is actually bad for TLO. TLO is probably not going to be able to keep this hatchery. Oh, TLO sees the second probe. This is a huge tell. TLO needs to figure out that something's going on right now. Something is definitely going on right now. Here the second drone comes out. He's going to try to spot it. Just seen a second probe on the map. Oh my. A gateway, a cannon. The cannon can be reached by a single drone. However, as a cannon produces, if you attach 3 workers to it, immediately when it starts, the 3 workers will kill it. But with the cannon this far in, you need more than 3 workers. TLO has Lings on the map. They can't really get to the cannon, though. Oh, this is going to work out. This is going to finish. This cannon is up. These Zerglings are not going to be able to take this cannon out. TLO was trying to use the drone to bait, but this is for sure going to all come up and is all going to work out against this hatchery. We see Harstem even canceling a cannon that he determined to not need, as it was out of range of this hatchery, and this cannon finished, so it wasn't needed to defend that on the high ground. TLO is going to cancel the hatchery. I love this move, and instantly Harstem cancels both of his cannons. He's going to instead put them up top to try to set up a cannon contain. TLO is going to put his hatchery down at his third, where Harstem is going to try to continue the cannon rush. TLO did get out enough Zerglings. He just ran right by the cannons. These Zerglings should allow him to keep the cannon rush from happening down here on his third. However, he's still in kind of a sticky situation, especially by the time all 3 of these cannons come up. It's going to be very costly for TLO to just run right by that. Oh no, and Harstem has begun the cannon rush here. TLO hasn't quite spotted it yet. TLO, you got to get down there. You got to see this, man. TLO does see that on the other side of the map, the Nexus has gone up. Harstem is putting TLO in a real bad spot, a Baneling nest. It looks like TLO has plans of busting this. TLO does catch the cannon rush at his third, just in time. And also feels out the front with an Overlord who almost dies. Comes back to the base spewing blood. It looks like TLO is going to be able to keep his third, but he's still contained fairly well. He's getting out a high number of Zerglings. With the right number of Zerglings, you can be fairly cost-effective against cannons. There are still 3 cannons here, though. He's going to lose a lot just to kill that. And it's going to cost a lot of larva production at the wrong time, the wrong part of the game. We can see that worker count, Harstem is stepping hugely into the lead. Oh, and Zergling speed is finished. He's actually just going to run by. He's not even going to hit the cannons. He ran right by, taking some hurt on a queen. soaking some of the cannon shots, and he's going to come straight over to Harstem's front. Harstem sees it, though. Running by, he's going to just put up a wall. Gateway is on the way. Cybernetics core. An extra photon cannon. TLO's going to try a Baneling bust here. No sentries are out. The first sentry can begin production now. And he needs it, and he needs chrono boosts. Hitting that pylon's not going to do him any good because there is still a wall behind it. Hitting this forge and/or gateway would allow the Zerglings in. Oh, and here they come. Wow. Okay, that wall does not work. He actually canceled the gateway up top to try to make it, but it's still not a full wall in. TLO's going to get in. He's going to try to focus this Nexus. That might work out, and that would put TLO on somewhat equal footing economically. He's still behind in drones quite heavily. There's a sentry out. Harstem may be able to use to try to deny further run-bys. The Zergling count has actually diminished a lot. TLO's been able to pick off just a few workers, actually literally one. And he's getting some damage on this Nexus, but oh man, the Ling count is dwindling even more. Oh, and now they're separated. This Ling run-by is all but over from TLO. So he got in, however not a lot of damage was done. Harstem maintains his natural. He maintains a huge worker count. TLO is going to get to scout the base. The Zergling may still get a kill. Nope. The Tickle Beam will end it. And TLO is left with the necessity of dealing still with this cannon contain. He is increasing his worker count, and he's actually making ground on Harstem pretty fast, but he's still in a huge deficit. He's getting the lair. This is a very fast lair. Time-wise, not so much, but game event-wise, very much so. I love that he goes straight in for the pylon, and actually where the Banelings blew up here, their AoE was just large enough from the point of their explosion to reach all four structures. So the Banelings blew it all up. The pylon's really the only thing he needed to take down. But he took the cannons out too, so he's not even going to have to waste any time. He instantly brings his Lings to the other side of the map, and he's going to try to keep any kind of pressure from moving out for Harstem. He specifically wants this probe to die. This probe will allow Harstem to be continuous with this pressure, as it will allow him to produce his units on the front. And oh, Harstem, he's going for the throat. He's got a lot of gateways coming up, even a Stargate. Looks like the Stargate may be a safety play. He's just going to toss a little bit of something in that's hard to deal with. Harstem has 8 gateways coming up, though. This is going to allow him to produce a very heavy Zealot Sentry force. Zealot Sentry are relatively cheap as compared to Stalkers. If your composition is going to be very Stalker-based, you don't need quite as many gateways as if your composition is going to be very Zealot Sentry-based. TLO spotted this out. He sees it coming. He knows. He's also got, he's caught up, actually. He's only one worker behind now, and he's getting swarm hosts. My god, TLO, you mad genius. He's not spending the money on Enduring Locusts. He knows that he's in a very rough, low econ situation. He needs the content more than anything. The upgrade's going to be a bit too fanciful. Harstem doesn't have a robotics facility, so it's going to be very difficult for him to spot these swarm hosts out. And these swarm hosts should allow TLO some very cost-efficient engagements. Oh, a matter of fact, Banelings on the Zealots. He gets a lot of good damage on them, but the force fields are pretty solid as well. It's going to hold most of the Zerglings out. And it looks like Harstem wants to make a dead sprint straight up into the main. He's going to kill off just what he needs to. He's going to check for the natural, but it's not there. And as he gets into the main, he's going to be able to use this sentry count to force field that ramp indefinitely. More reinforcements are also coming in the front. He's fighting multiple fights here. Multiple fronts. And TLO is having difficulty dealing with it. He does have swarm hosts in the mix. And that's going to let him slowly work away on Harstem's forces. But mining is being denied in the main. And very soon he's not going to be able to produce any additional swarm hosts as the infestation pit is falling. Now there's one more in production. There's a swarm host in the main. There are still 2. Make that 3 swarm hosts down at the second base. I don't want to call it the natural. These swarm hosts are doing decent holding the pressure off here, but he's having a lot of trouble dealing with the force in the main. 2 swarm hosts altogether in the main, trying to work away on this. It's not going to be fast enough, though. Harstem is going to be able to take this lair out, and that's going to put TLO back to the Stone Age. Harstem is also holding back his harassment on the second base, building his forces up He even has an Oracle coming into play. This Oracle is going to be able to use Envision to detect the swarm hosts. TLO does clean up the main without losing his lair, but Envision comes out. TLO knows he's had. The GG is done. So game 2 goes to Harstem. This best of 3 is going to go to a third ace match. Harstem, with a little bit of cheese, is able to throw TLO off early and then just follow it up with the second punch there. Left jab of cannon rush, right hook of huge gateway pressure. It works. TLO falls. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for game 3. Coming right at you.